Hello, this is George Senda, the real, official, authentic, original, the one, the only, the official, the guy from Pittsburgh, except no cheesy YouTube commentators, imposters, or dead voters in Philadelphia and Allegheny County who come back from Dividend not only to vote, but to ask for a new ballot. Well, the media is all in the tank for Biden. On Fox News Now, Giuliani was talking, they cut him off. And champion shipboxer Smoking Joe Frazier, registered Republican, who did not become a millionaire. He had bad business investments, but when he was live, died of complications of diabetes. His gym is listed on the most endangered places in Pennsylvania in the country, but National Historic Register of important places to keep. And yet, Joe is still voting. Registered Republican, but he's voted in the last two elections. So have 7 Philadelphia cops. So is a community organizer that got murdered in the street. They're all voting. Only problem is they're all dead. So we have paranormal voting in PA. The Attorney General tells Ted Cruz, stay out of Pennsylvania's business. And Ted Cruz said it's everybody's business. It's a national election. And my favorite story comes out of Allegheny County of Pittsburgh. This woman dies on October 9th. October 10th, she applies for a ballot. They send her a ballot. She voted on November 3rd, but she's been dead for almost a month. This is the irregularities. This is the corruption that's going on in Pennsylvania, and yet CBS, NBC, ABC, Decision Desk at Fox are all taking Pennsylvania for Biden, and yet we don't hear anything about Arizona anymore, or Nevada, or Georgia. And Giuliani is taking all this to court on Monday. Justice Alito ordered the ballots in Philadelphia separated from the rest of the ballots so they can be checked out. And Trump's asking for donations to the legal fund. I just gave $5. They match at $55. Plus, I paid the dollar processing fee. Normally, I ask my viewers to donate to me, to the channel, donate to President Trump so he can fight this fraud. And as he said this morning, no election officials have certified anything in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin. The fix is in for Biden. And if you're a Trump voter or you care about the integrity of our elections, even if you aren't a Trump voter, you should donate to President Trump. He could take this to court and try to stop this once and for all. And the other thing, there's an election machine software company. They're tied to George Soros. Their software is used in 30 states, and in one state they flipped 600 Trump votes to Biden. Not that paper ballots, but they came in and electronically they went, whoop, suddenly 600 Trump votes went to Biden. More chicanery. All right. I had to lean over there and redo the computer because the power went off here. Probably Biden turned my power off. I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, I gotta finish this because I got nowhere to put it. But like I think Yogi Berra once said, it ain't over until it's over. All right. This is a apologize for a dirty shirt, but I couldn't find any other shirt. I'm gonna do laundry today. Thus the quarters. It's getting cold. I'm wearing this shirt. I can't even find the shirt I wore last night. I don't know where I put it. And I'm out of clean clothes. So, anyone wants a bitch about my clothes being dirty, well, you come over here and donate to the channel. Or help me do my laundry. All right, we have 40 rolls, I wish. We have $40 quarters to go through. And here's the first batch, and they're going to go into, I'm not going to put in that pie plate. Let's see what that would sound like. Here's a pie plate. Oh, that's downright painful. Okay. I can't see these. Nope. That was interesting. First batch made a hell of a noise. The second batch, nothing. Okay. I've had no luck so far at over $400 worth of quarters, so I don't expect to get any silver out of these, but what the heck. Nope, there's 10. All right. Excuse me. I haven't figured out a way to open these up other than my teeth. Tried scissors, that doesn't exactly work. Okay. These look like they're all new. Curious. Looks like a giant seaweed. Salt River something. Bay. It says 2020. Let's see. Looks like a big seaweed. You can't see that. Okay, now this is probably all. Yep, this is a whole roll of Salt River Bay quarters. These are all nice, new, shiny quarters. So there's not going to be any in here. I asked the bank about that. What happened to the coin shortage? Well, apparently they're getting coins, and this is brand new coins. They're coming in from somewhere. Nothing in that batch. Wonder if they're making these. Denver Mint. They don't make coins except for collectible coins in the San Francisco Mint anymore. Proof sets and stuff like that. Okay, here's the third roll. And I'll get up in a few minutes. I got something in the oven. But to declare for president when the votes haven't been certified is incredibly dishonest. I would say that if I wasn't a Trump voter. All right. 3 more quarters. Oh, same thing. Yeah, they do that nevertheless. They project off math, but they don't project off of the truth. Maybe they should project off meth. There you go. This is more, I'm going to figure out where this place is. Salt River Bay. The problem is I can't read the, let me see here. Excuse me for the bright light. Oh, Virgin Islands. No wonder I never heard of it. Are there any virgins in the Virgin Islands? Who knows? Well, okay. I wonder why they're called the Virgin Islands. I've never thought about that before. All right, this whole stack is brand new. Nothing in there. I'm gonna sit here and go bleh. I'm gonna cover this up for a minute. I'm gonna switch sides in this shirt. It bothers me wearing this. Gee, it's all red. At least the back will look clean. I'll throw this shirt in the wash today, so I have a nice warm sweatshirt to wear. Okay. Doesn't feel right to be wearing it, but there we go. Oh, what happened to my hair? Oh my God. All right. Tried to add my clipper card. That's screwed up. So I'll have to just do it Bart. I put some money in the bank to cover the 20 bucks I need for clipper to go to the doctor on Monday. They're going to MRI my brain and prove definitively that I have one, and my left leg, but not my bad right leg, which you heard last night me screaming in pain. All right, here we go. Ah, this is different. We have here War in the Pacific. Well, these are double collectible if you're at least this one is 2019 War in the Pacific. I can't read that either. Little door in this magnifying thing won't close right now. What does it say? Oh, Guam. This thing is having trouble closing. Okay. So that's new. I hadn't seen that. I don't look at the quarters generally. All right. This one's an old 1970. Where are you? 1979 non-state quarter. There's a time our quarters didn't have states on them and things on them. There's another thing Bay quarter. This says Wisconsin Forward 2004. I know one time those were hot for some reason. This one says American. Well, I can't read a damn one. Not mine. American Memorial Park. Somewhere. Yeah. Nope. But interesting. I didn't know there was an American Memorial Park somewhere. I'll look at that later. Nope. Nope. Well, the fact I was able to get $40 in quarters means there's no coin shortage anymore, I guess. Well, I'll tell you, Martin, they had a good candidate this year. And, you know, Trump can run again. There's nothing to stop him from running again. And if Biden resigns due to illness, he'll be running against Kamala Harris. And, but I'm not thrilled with any of the potential Republican candidates for president, except for one possible guy. And that would be Tucker Carlson. If he decided to run, I think, it goes to me again. I think he would win. Well, I have not accepted that we have lost because it's a crooked deal. And if you accept that we have lost, then you've capitulated to fraud. It ain't over till it's over, and it ain't over till it gets to the court. I mean, Justice Alito would not have separated the Pennsylvania ballot if he thought it was over. He knows there's chicanery going on. And he separated all ballots that arrived after Election Day because he knows there's stuff going on. You have crooked election officials, a crooked attorney general, and a crooked governor in Pennsylvania. Screwing the vote. Now the process hasn't played out. You're being an apologist. for the corrupt news networks, for the corrupt Decision HQ, for the correct CBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CNBC, PBS, who all are seeking to declare Biden the winner. And Fox, who declared Biden the winner in Arizona when 25% of the votes still counted. And how can you ignore the irregularities in this election and say, I accept the winner, unless you're a Biden man? No, because there was so much money poured in that election, it probably really ticked off the people in Kentucky. There was so much money poured in the election for, God, what the hell is his name? In South Carolina, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars to overturn Joni Ernst in Nebraska. And the guy in South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. And it did them no good. They lost. And they had crooked pollsters saying, Biden's up 19 in Michigan or Wisconsin. When people like me in Red Eagle politics said that's all BS, it's not true. Don't buy into this. Vote. Go out and vote. And as Giuliani has said, the New York Times said 10 years ago, the most pervasive thing for fraud is these mail-in ballots. The late Barbara Jordan said mail-in ballots are the one thing that are going to be fraudulent. They're not easily checked, and there's all kinds of ways you can sneak them in. And in California, they sent mail-in the ballots to everybody in the state. Now think about that for me. We've got 42 million people. We don't have 42 million registered voters in this state. In Wisconsin, they got more ballots turned in than there are eligible voters. How do you do that? And supposedly, the biggest election day ballots coming in history, but they were registered on election day. I've read articles saying that is impossible. This has been a corrupt election on the Democratic side. And anyone who doesn't believe it or ignores that fact is being a fool. And when you have 130,000 vote lead in Michigan, and suddenly at 4 a.m. ballots come in for Biden, and they're all for Biden, just like they were for Romney in Philadelphia when he ran against Obama. There's something going on here, and Pennsylvania is a state, as I've said repeatedly, that has a history of voter fraud. Well, they rigged it, but they got caught rigging it. That's the problem, because they're arrogant. They think they can do this kind of stuff and get away with it, and no one's going to say a word. Giuliani said they were finally allowed by a Pennsylvania court order to go into the counting place, where they're allowed to be within 6 feet of the ballots so they can examine the ballots in person. You know what they did? They moved the tables 6 feet more away so they couldn't see the ballots. This is how crooked it is. Martin, you're full of crap, okay? It's not a false claim. Giuliani has said it. Corey I can't pronounce his name right. Lebowski, whatever his name is, has said it. They've had Republican poll people say they were kept away from the poll. They had a retired attorney said she was a poll watcher, and they told her and numerous other people, you're not in the official registration list as a poll watcher for the GOP. They didn't say it just once. They didn't say it twice. 3, 4, 5 times. Every time they showed up, you're not in the list. The first time you can say, okay, it's a mistake. The second time it's a mistake. When it happens 4, 5, 6 times, there's something going on. Well, you're wrong. You're an apologist for Biden, and I'm not going to allow it. You're an apologist for corruption, and I'm not going to allow it on this channel. Well, I don't know if you're a Republican or not. You don't sound like any Republican I know. Any Republican I know, except the rhinos who are not supporting President Trump, like the former Republican senator who ran for president twice and failed, Rick Santorum, like Mitt Romney, the Republican name only, the guy who wimped out in his campaign when he was beating the hell out of Obama in the first debate. He attacked Trump. He's not a real Republican. Neither is former Secretary of Defense or State, whatever he was, Colin Powell. He's a rhino. All these people are anti-Trump. You have to stand by this man because he's trying to stop this from ever happening again. Forget that it's happening to him. If they do it this time, they can do it forever. And we'll have democratic rule. And I use the term in quotes because it's not democratic at all. It's corrupt. It's like being in a third-world dictatorship. And they're already talking about making an enemies list to go after Trump supporters and Trump voters. I supported Romney because I could see that Obama was a phony. I didn't like Mitt Romney. I still don't like Mitt Romney. I've never liked Mitt Romney. But you vote the alternative because you have no other choice. I voted for John McCain. I couldn't stand John McCain. But again, you have no other choice. You have to vote who they nominate to keep the other guys out of office because their policies are wrong. Then you have the thing where they came up with the unemployment numbers. They're low. The GDP numbers are historically the highest we've ever had. And yet the sheep will vote for Biden, a man who has had no successes in his entire life other than running for office. Because of the irrational hatred of Donald Trump, much like the irrational hatred of George W. Bush. They wouldn't accept the Al Gore Bush election that went to the Supreme Court on hanging chads. They have never accepted Trump's win for 4 years. We've been told how Russia colluded. He colluded Russia. No proof of that. They spent $55, $56, $58 million investigating and found out there was no Russian collusion. They impeached him over a phone call where nothing happened. And they go out and quote peaceful protest, which leads to looting and burning and killing of people who are for Trump. And to say you accept the results of this election is capitulation to the forces of evil. And I will never capitulate. Not because I'm a Republican. I used to be a Democrat. I saw my party taken over by the socialists and Marxists and crazies. But because it is the right thing to do. These people hate the Constitution, they hate freedom, they hate the automobile, they hate the oil industry, they hate the rich. Yes, I think Trump was a good person. All this garbage that he's a racist, he's a xenophobe. I've listened to almost every one of his speeches. He promotes Latinos, he promotes blacks, he promotes Asians. He doesn't say, I don't like blacks, I don't like Asians, I don't like minorities, but they hate him because he did one thing. He stopped the flow of illegal aliens into this country. And they want that illegal alien vote. That's why the Democrats were so against the wall. That's why they voted to appropriate money they voted for the wall at one point in Congress. But I don't think they ever appropriated enough money. He got the wall built. The flow has stopped. The flow of MS-13 people has stopped. People are being sent back. And I know in one county in California, Bob Dornan is no longer a congressman because they bust in illegal aliens registered to vote, and a Democrat won in that county, and that was back in the 80s. And the so-called popular vote win by Hillary Clinton, they did a study after the election. They found out 3 million of her votes were illegal alien voters. They're not allowed to vote. Just like they shouldn't be allowed to drive in California with a driver's license, they shouldn't be here in the first place. It's against the law to come across the border without papers. You know, I think that's Mystery Science Theater 3000, which is a whole nother matter. I stopped doing live streams because I'm disgusted with nobody ever donating to me. Other people get $50, $100, $200, $500 in donations. I get nothing. Well, I don't have it. It's all in the coin dealer. I had to pawn it. I pawned it to help Kathy move. My mother died. I got it out. I had to pawn it again to help her out. I don't know how much it actually would all be. I'm estimating $4,000 to $5,000 in silver content right now. I know I started buying it at $5. Silver, the last I looked, was about 24.5. So let's be charitable, and I've made $20 an ounce on each coin. They're not all 1 ounce rounds or anything, but I've got $565 in loans. Let's quadruple that. Let's quadruple that, add a little more. Let's say $3,000. It might be 4. I don't know. I've got one small gold coin and some flakes that are probably not gold because I bought them from a grab bag that Spectacular has said they're phony. Oh, I got to get up for a minute. Hope my food hasn't burned. All right. But I get disgusted with nobody donating to the channel. Supporting me, supporting the cat, supporting me to help get new equipment. All right, I'm coming back. Or for repairs for iPads that stop working. Or GoPro 9. We had a car again. I'd love to have the GoPro in the car. Live in the car. Well, you can watch the videos on YouTube. I've sent them all to Chris Bosa. They're all out there. All the irregularities have been talked about. All right, hold on. I'm eating fried shrimp for breakfast. All right. Now, I'll look at my history. Ha ha ha. Rudy Giuliani reminds me of networks don't decide elections. Gowdy slams irresponsible states. No, I don't think that one. I'm not sure about that one. Mayor Rudy Giuliani about poll workers not being allowed to inspect mail-in ballots in Philadelphia. Corey Lewandowski on what the Trump campaign's a concrete example of voter fraud in PA. So there's 3 of them, all on YouTube. Like I said, you got dead voters voting. 7 Philadelphia cops who died in line of duty. They voted. The community organizers voted in 2017 and 2018. I guess they couldn't get his vote this year. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, corruption. Democratic as long as I've been alive. Here's the problem. The other iPad, part of the problem with the iPad is the home button. Newer iPads do not have the home button. You just push the charging, you just push the on button and it turns on. The home button is over the charging port. And if the home button breaks, you can't turn on the computer, except I do have a dongle somewhere that'll allow me to bypass that by plugging it into the charging port. It goes around the broken home button. And the other problem is the charging port is a small piece. It basically looks like this. And it's plastic with copper and circuitry. And if that comes detached or it breaks, you have to open up the iPad and put a new one in there. Take the heat gun, take this splurgers, whatever the hell it's called. Lift the glass up, lift the other glass up, disconnect all the connectors, go in there, replace the charging port. The home button, the same thing. And the charging port, I think, also has to be soldered. It's a 2.5 hour job. The other iPad was sent to me. I may have finally gotten rid of it. I don't know. Imagine mailing the iPad back in this with bubble wrap. That's what the guy did from Indiana. He sent it back in a plastic, in a priority mail envelope with bubble wrap, no cardboard. The screen is smashed. The home button that I sent it to him for repair is broken. He refunded me the $78, but it's $140 to fix that iPad. The glass is smashed. The speaker no longer works. The headphone jack no longer works. And it does charge, but he sent it out to a guy who repairs charging ports. The guy took 78 days. And it cost me $80 more. The design of the iPad is flawed. You have one button above the charging port that will press in the charging board that can cause both of them to break. And I have 3 Amazon Fires. The 2 flaws with that: to do videos or photos on the Amazon Fire, you have to go to Amazon Photos. You have to have an Amazon device that's connected to your Mac to pull the photos and the videos out. I took all those videos down at Alien Con. I could not post them until I got whatever that thing is, and I can never remember. It sits on your desk. I had to get that, go into Amazon Photos, and then drag them all into the Mac to post them on YouTube. Because Amazon has their own proprietary software. You don't have a problem with an iPad. But this one, I had the charging port repaired for $140. Anchor refused to pay me the full amount. They gave me gift cards for $80. So I had to spend $60 out of my pocket. And then after they fixed it, the charging port is loose. Right now I've got 2 quarters under the charging port and a small broken 4 gigabyte memory stick underneath holding the quarters in. I can get it fixed, but they happen. I'm not going to switch channels, but you can look up broken home buttons, broken charging ports too. They happen on the iPhone. iPhone and the iPad have the same charging port. And part of this is aesthetics. Apple was big into aesthetics. But with the new iPad Pros, you push the power button, the thing turns on. There's no Touch ID, there's no Face ID, none of that garbage. Well, the problem with fingerprint ID, it doesn't always work right. I took it off Bank of America. Thank you for your donation, Cuddy. You take the finger and you, now one thing I gotta say about donations too and Super Chat, they take 30% out. So at 99 cents, I got 30 cents. I'm not complaining, but try to make it more than $1 because they take their cut, and that's an outrageous amount of money to take from YouTube providers. You put your fingerprint on, and it may not always recognize it. And I had this iPad set up where every time I turned around, I had to put the passcode on. I finally got rid of it. Won't let me do Apple Pay now, but I got tired of that. Well, I don't toss it around. I'm not throwing it across the room. The biggest problem with the iPad is, right now, it gets very heavy to hold on to. My hands go numb. I dropped it on the carpet. But I try not to be rough with it. Now, eventually, it's all a matter of money. There's a stand I can get, and I can put the iPad in the stand on the bed and have it right in front of me. No, Kathy and Patty have never touched it. What happened with the charging port of this iPad, the other Anchor charging cable, this is a broken one. Anchor's charging cables rot, the rubber rots. Well, the one that I had to pay $104 to fix the charging port, this portion of the cable, you see the white part in the circuitry, snapped off in it. I didn't do it. Put it in, pulled it out, went to the bed, and I went, what the hell? I couldn't figure out why I wasn't charging. This is gold on metal on plastic. And it happens. So now, there's another thing. If I'm here by myself, Kathy has used the iPad maybe 10 times to start and stop a video. She's never used the iPad for anything else. But there are videos on YouTube, now not Anchor, but they're showing the Apple charging cable, the lightning cable, that's what this is. And this one still works, by the way. And it's another thing to do one day is to go down to Harbor Freight, get a heat gun, get some shrink tubing and put them on this and put them on the cable for Belkin, which is working a hell of a lot better because it's a more expensive cable. And this iPad I've only had since like March. But when the charging port snaps off in the charging port cable snaps off in the charging port, and even the technician can't get it out. And then when they repaired it, I said, hey, it's loose. I haven't had time to go over there now, and the handicap bus is $5 each way now. It'll be just easier to send it off on the first of the month to Los Angeles. Pay the guy $55, insure it, pay for postage back and forth, and it'll be repaired in one day. And then I've asked him, I'm going to write him a letter. Why does my screen keep dimming? I'm going to ask him to write him a letter. That's not coming out right. I'm going to write him a letter to ask him how much to fix the other iPad. And that screen is shattered. Well, it just went to sleep. No, I want the second iPad repaired so I have a backup iPad. And then, well, if you fix phones for a living, you won't be able to fix them with the new iPhones because you cannot swap out the batteries. Apple has set up a thing where it searches for the battery that lives in this phone. There are videos on that by several people. Where a guy in Australia got two identical iPhone 12s, took the battery out, put it in another iPhone, and it would not work. Apple is very against, along with John Deere, the tractor manufacturer, Apple is very against right of repair. I'm for right of repair. Louis Rossman, who does not use Macs, but he repairs MacBooks, he said eventually he will be going out of business because they're slowly making MacBooks be unrepairable. You have to take them to Apple and pay their overinflated prices for them. I don't know. I didn't look. It's beer battered, that's all I know. I don't know what wild it is. If it has boisterous parties or does a lot of wild living, I have no idea. All right, I'm going to cover this up for a minute. You asked. Hold on. I think it could have stayed in the oven a little longer. Hold on. Fuzzy says hello. I have to step over the cable. Hold on, now my ear's itching. All right. This says, I don't know what this says. I can't read it. Trusted catch, 100% real shrimp sourced responsibly. Sustainable Forestry Initiative certified sourcing. I didn't know there was shrimp in the forest. And battered with care in the USA. Where are the leftists complaining about battered shrimp? The poor shrimp are battered. All right, now we have the other thing. I'm going to show you this. Last I knew, it's still on a charge. Hold on. I charged this some time ago. And now it doesn't look like. This is the other iPad. That's how this arrived, not counting the dust, in the mail from Indiana. I'm going to get it repaired. So I have a second iPad. Now, this one I was rather rough with, but I can't be sure if this wasn't damaged in the mail or not. This is about a 4-year-old iPad, but this has more memory than this one. That's the other problem. This only has 32 gigabytes. Excuse me. Thank you, Joe Man, for the $5 donation. This one only has 32 gigabytes. This has 64. I'm disturbed that this does not work. And it was fully charged, but you can see the cracks in the screen. Oh, I forgot. The home button doesn't work. He broke the home button. There's my dead iPad. If I take that in to fix that Mac, it's 140 bucks. No, 110 bucks to fix. So, but like I said, somewhere in here, if I still have it, and my, no, not there where I thought it was. Maybe I threw it out finally. Hold on. And today I'll be eating. I don't have one in hand. What he did, he sent this in a padded envelope with no cardboard. That's the way it broke. And I was really ticked off. Still really ticked off. Look, when you get $9.42 a month before the rent, credit card payments, electricity bill, food, cat food for the outdoor cats, $110 is a lot of money. And I eventually intend, and we will see if it's silicone or not, after I buy the GoPro 9, and after I buy a new iPhone so I can get rid of the Android phone. Get newer Macs. Since the newest Mac I have is a 2010 iMac. It too is broken. Fuddy killed it. And my next step is to buy an iPad Pro. Well, I don't know. I tried the chocolate. It was hideous. The strawberry says it has same great taste. And more people were ticked off. I don't know why to this day they did this. In the 80s when I did Slim Fast powder, they had a wonderful orange powder. I lost 60 pounds in 2 months drinking that stuff. 2 months drinking that stuff. And they got rid of it. No, the iPad here, this one has 32 gigabytes. If you're talking about the Pro, and you know, who knows, by the time I come up with $900 or something, or $1,200, whatever the hell it is, they probably come up with an iPad Pro 15 or something. There is no food on the floor. Went anywhere, it went this dish. Well, I've never seen Banana Slim Fast. It's not in Walmart. At least not Walmart I go. And they don't sell it in Safeway, and they don't sell it in Target. Joe? What you ought to do if you can, is save up 3% and see if you can get a federal loan. Buy yourself a duplex and stop paying somebody else for rent. Have the renter pay your rent. Different stuff, Shimu. Are you implying that I am the size of Shamu? Never went to SeaWorld. And the PETA people and the left that's got the whales removed. I don't know if they went back to the open ocean to get killed by whalers or not. Well, I don't know what happened to those creatures. Now, I don't think there were abuses at SeaWorld. There may have been. I don't know. They also complained about Ringling Brothers having live animals in their shows. Ringling Brothers are now out of business. And there was abuse of the Ringling Brothers animals, and I think it's terrible. I've done that. About Why would you buy a condo? I can't. Okay, Madison, Wisconsin, which is where a lot of the corruption has been coming from, and Detroit, I think. But don't quote me. I watch these things at 3 in the morning. I'm not always cognizant of what I'm watching. Or whenever I wake up 6 a.m. and turn on the iPad or the Mac and gone to sleep. And, what's in the video? Well, it's on now. I got to go to the bathroom. And have a glass of water and go back to sleep. Well, you have stick holdings. Yeah, I know you said stock. It's got the largest holdings of stick in the United States. Stocks do not always go up. I would not trust Slava the Clown's investment advice. We just had the market go down in the last couple of months, 500, 800 points. My Nordstrom stock went down from 44 to 12. You tell me stocks always go up? Well, he may be rich, but well, I had Nordstrom stock. I've shopped there for years, and without the pandemic, Nordstrom is doing just fine. If they don't try to burn down your headquarters in Seattle, which they tried to do. I also have other stocks in my IRA when I used to work. But you diversify. I didn't have a lot in there. I sold some. Needed the money to help Kathy move and to pay bills. So, but historically, stocks will go down. And anybody who says that stocks always go up is an idiot. Look at 1929. Did they go up? No. Excuse me. Look at 2008. Did they go up? No. Well, I'm glad it's safe in Madison. It wasn't safe in that town they tried to burn down after that guy got shot. That's in Wisconsin, I think. Or was it Michigan? I don't know. To me, Wisconsin and Michigan, I always get them confused. Well, I don't care about Dave Ramsey. I don't watch the guy, so... And will you please type the word stocks correctly? Okay. I talked to an ex-boss about that. He said you have to take training courses, you have to pay franchise fees, you have to pay whoever owns the land, because frequently the gas station that's on the land, you don't own the land, it's leased out. And the one station I worked at, the total profit for the year for that station, or the total income, was $3 million. That's before any expenses. So I'd rather have the $100,000 in cash. I'd invest it in Apple. I'd invest it in Tesla. I would invest it in some bio stocks working on the coronavirus. I would not invest it in travel. I would not invest it in retail. And I sure as hell wouldn't invest it in what was that thing, Marconi, or the opposite of Tesla with their phony trucks. And there are some oil companies that are still going to pay a dividend. I'd buy Pepsi. Pepsi and Coke are very good companies. Pepsi's very well run. So is Coke. Okay. I'm going to delete that. The next stonk comment, I'm going to put you in a timeout. Start typing it correctly. Maybe you need to take the clown makeup off. You can't see the screen. Johnson & Johnson got hit recently with this huge baby powder lawsuit. I don't know what they're going to do. Another stock that pays a huge dividend is AT&T. I would immediately, if I had $100,000, I'd take $1,000. 28 times. I'd do the math in my head here. See, 10 would be 280. 100 would be 2,800. 1,000 would be $28,000. I'd buy 1,000 shares of AT&T. Okay. Well, you're not going to call him here. All right? I told you to stop. AT&T pays a 7% dividend. You may not like the company. I'm talking about dividends. Okay? I don't like Verizon, but if they, I don't like, who the hell is it? Comcast. But if I had money to buy stock and they were paying me an 8% dividend, I'd consider it for the income. Not for growth, but income. I hate Comcast with a passion. I hate Verizon. But AT&T pays a lot for dividend on $28 a share. Wells Fargo suspended their dividend. I have Wells Fargo stock. I've had it there for a long time. Not much. I sold most of it. You know, you can look up on things. If you want dividends, you can look up number one paying dividend. There's one REIT that was paying a 50% dividend because they were dumping money back. They were paying a special dividend. There's been oil drilling companies that paid dividends. I wouldn't buy Halliburton. I wouldn't buy Occidental Petroleum right now. I would buy another stock. My friend Paul had it. Disney. Pandemic or not, Disney is still making money. So stonks my ass. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute. I'm going to look up. Okay. Top 10 high yielding stocks. And at one time I had shares in this one too. I sold it. I had Chevron. Now where's the article? Oh, thank you, Barons. I got to continue reading. Thank you. I really hate that. Okay. Phillips 66 PSX 7.1 on 50. Chevron 7.1. Holly Frontier 6.9. Philip Morris, whether you agree with smoking or not, 6.5. All right, let's look at this one and see if their Nerd Wallet will probably not block me. Okay. They give you advice how to invest. Okay, here we go. Altria 8.7. Now this is different. National Health Investors 7.5. Principal Financial Group 5.3. Lyondell-Basel Industries NV 5.38. Safety Insurance 5.33. Good old IBM 5.18. Bank of Hawaii 5%. Boston Properties 4.92. Edison International 4.53. And the list goes further down that. Merck. My friend Paul has Merck, 3.3. So, no, I told him to stop misspelling the word stocks. And he wouldn't stop. I've been reading financial books most of my life, and everybody said the word stocks for stocks. But Slavo tends to be ornery and annoying. But am I supposed to analyze everybody in chat psychically and tell what their spelling problems are? I didn't ban him. I put him in a timeout. I didn't block him. He is in a timeout. Hold on. He's timed out. 300 seconds. Well, Kathy's at Target right now, so I can't call her. She went to Target. I paid $36 in the Target bill yesterday. And clowns creep both of us out. And he annoyed me yesterday. He said, oh, you're being the equivalent of racist toward clowns. Which is nonsense. If I don't like something, I'm going to say it. I'll give you an example. When you go to the spirit store, what's the first thing you see when you come in? They got a giant 8-foot evil clown animated statue. You turn the corner, they got another clown. He talks about, hello, little girl, and he's holding a little kid in his arms. He says he's going to eat the kid and eat its soul. Clowns are evil. They call me clownist. Now, I don't know. I've never heard anybody called clownist in my life. I've been called a racist, a homophobe, a xenophobe, a bigot by the haters, but clownist is a new one. Yeah, clowns will now get reparations. The Emmett Kelly Fund. For the abuse. No, he comes in here and he makes annoying comments. He annoys the hell out of me. I let him in here because then people will say, oh, I banned him because he's a clown. He came in, but you make comments that bug me. I'm going to say something about it. But the thing I put people in timeout, they keep doing it. They keep talking about the same thing over and like stonks. I gotta look that crap up now. Why would anybody call stocks stonks? That's stupid. And I never heard of this guy, Dave. I think I've heard of him, but I've never watched. Stonks. There's images for stonks. But when you type stonk, it comes up stock, and it gives you the definition: a concentrated artillery bombardment, a mortar stonk. Nothing to do with stocks. Yeah, they have all kinds of images for stock, and the arrow is going up, but there's at least one with the arrow going down. Let me click on that. Not stonks. And it's going way down. And there's another one where it's going way down. And here's one, SEANKS, with the thing. It looks like sionks. And there's stinks and stonks and soup. Oh my God, super stonks. And there's one going down with Pikachu in a suit. So, and there's one with a COVID mask, it's going up. And there's one with a goose, it's saying honks. The Aflac duck is a goose now. And stonks down. You can look up stonks down. Not stonks, 1929. So enough of that silliness. I am not the social maven. I have to know every slang phrase that's out there. I'm old school. Oh my God, are you kidding? Well, I've already left there. Nobody's at the door. Everybody keeps saying there's someone at my door. I'm looking right at the door. There's nobody there. I don't know what you're hearing. Every time I get up and go to the door, there's nobody there. Nobody knocked at my door. I would hear knocking. And for the record, the screen door is locked. They can't get in, not unless they got an axe. I'm looking at the replay of the door. You see the sunlight in the door. Fuzzy's that way. There's no other cat in here. No, I don't, because I think it's a stupid thing to call stock stonks. The haters know where I live. One came in and called up saying he was going to buy our car, and then on his phone said, "Why do you keep beating Kathy?" 3 times and drove off. I saw his truck. One has filmed this building, came all the way from Reno. They know where I live. Favorite pizza restaurant is probably Round Table, but we haven't gone there in a while. Although, actually, there is one other. There is the, ow. Oh, Slice House in Walnut Creek. Great by the sliced pizza. I don't have the money. There's $32, $34 for a whole pizza, but they make great sliced pizza. And there's Fuzzy scratching under her scratcher. Willie guy. What Willie guy? Hold on. What Willie guy? Where the hell is the Willie guy? I don't see anybody with Willie. I can't ban someone if they're not in chat. Yeah, guy showed up in a green Chevy pickup. Screwed around me for 3 days. Say when to buy the car. I said, "Where are you?" I'm sitting downstairs. I felt like it with the iPad and my phone. And he went and parked around the corner I said, where are you? Why aren't you showing up? I've been sitting here for an hour waiting for you to show up. He says he's coming from Livermore, which is where the evil one ordered pizza from, had unpaid pizza delivered from Livermore. He called from Livermore to deliver pizza here. Repeatedly ordered pizza that wasn't paid for to be delivered to disrupt my live stream. He comes tear around the corner and he says 3 times on his phone, why do you keep beating Kathy? So, no, he called me on Google Hangouts. So, okay, Slabo, I'm sick of you. Those are not serious charges. They happened. This is your last and final warning. Stop being an irritant. I don't make crap up. No, they didn't pay for it. He did it with Straw. He did it with Round Table. He did it with Domino's. He did it with Mountain Mike's. He did it with another. And he did it with he paid for the Chinese food place. But he delivered with jalapenos in it, or not jalapenos, whatever, hot peppers. Auburn was here during two of those live events. Yeah, you could. People know my home address. But the point is, the delivery guy, the pizza place got screwed out of pizza. Oh, he ordered from Pacifica Pizza, too. And I went down there and apologized to him in person, and I apologized to the owner. I talked to the owner of Mountain Mike's. I got Straw Hat, not Straw Hat, I keep saying Straw Hat. He used to go to Straw Hat in Sacramento. Round Table did not deliver here unless it was by me. The only one that caused a problem, the manager was a total jerk, was Domino's. So, he said those are serious charges. Now, when you say those are serious charges, to me that means I'm making charges that are not substantiated. That's the way I read it. I'm not picking on him. The guy irritates me. I've already said it. No, I never saw the guy in a truck. He had a big green Chevy giant super truck. It wasn't a fan. The guy bragged about it on the evil troll website that he ordered the food. Not a fan at all. It's one of my detractors, one of my enemies, one of the trolls. Fans of George Senda don't order pizzas and not pay for them. Sounded young. I don't know how old he was. I just couldn't believe anybody would call up. Well, they did. They called Kathy up at 3 in the morning about the car, woke her up, made obscene comments to her. Because they tracked down Kathy's home number, her email, her former number, and even her cell phone. It no longer works. She broke it. I ate a little bit of the Chinese food. Auburn scarfed the rest. The point is, I've had a history of ulcers. I don't eat super spicy foods. I don't eat jalapeno peppers or hot peppers. I can't. But the point is, he did this. He didn't do this to be nice. He did it to disrupt my stream. I was doing videos back there in the bedroom. I had to get up and go to the door and say, who is it? And I didn't order this. And I had the receipt. I have it around here somewhere from a phone number in Livermore, which is 30, 40 miles from here. No, because the minute I took the first bite, I'm surprised they didn't poison the food. But usually you can't collude with a delivery place to poison the food, and that Chinese restaurant is no longer in business because a pizza place bought it, and their pizza has more oil than the North Shore or Prudhoe Bay. Big pool of oil in their pizza. I went down and had a slice one night. It was terrible. And I've been threatened with someone to come here, a certain person who claimed he had land for me in Sevastopol to live on, who created the horrible Kathy love doll, who harassed Kathy on the phone for over an hour, wanting her to sign the rights away to the love doll, and he would pay her $60,000. He came to my door unannounced, and another guy, no, he didn't do that, I'm sorry. Another guy said he was going to come here and kill me. And he started from Tacoma, Washington, got to Oregon, and stopped. He never got here. I have people who are crazy. No. It doesn't exist. But he put it on his evil fan site. And he was mad at me because he appointed himself as my manager. And I told him, I said publicly, he's not my manager. He also wanted me to do an animated show where I did the voice of Baby Falky. And he knew people in Hollywood who would get me a cartoon show. I said, where's the money? Where's the cash? Show me them, give me the money. It's a guy named Little Chris from Sewer Gab. And apparently he's very, very rich because my spies gave me his number of his company. I called it. But he created an evil fan site with Kathy being raped, with me being raped, accusing me of killing my parents, of killing cats. It's horrible. Lies and slander all. I've been drinking peach Snapple for years. And by the way, hold on. Get tired of people criticizing what I drink. 30 grams of sugar, 59%, 30 more grams of sugar. But you know what? It's either that right now or water, and it's almost done. I get tired of drinking water. Happy now? There, it's done. Estes, how you doing? I drank Crystal Light for years. When I was on a diet in Sacramento, I drank Crystal Light. Welcome, Estes. Man who's respectful of the guy from Pittsburgh and a true friend of the channel. Unlike other people, he hates me because I told him to go bleep. You're not my manager. You have no authority to act on my behalf. And I proved him a liar. And he got infuriated. And he turned from a fan of the channel, of a fan of the guy from Pittsburgh, to an enemy. And you're either with me or against me. There's no middle ground. If you criticize me too much, I'm going to get ticked off and you're going to go bye-bye. I don't put up with that for 9 years. No, I don't have a manager. And the only way to accept a manager if it has income attached to it. And I don't mean the 59 cents. No, I never signed a contract. He self-declared himself to be my manager. Well, he got mad because I changed his name to something Well, he's lying. There's no document. Something like that, I would have documentation. It would have been notarized. It would have been witnessed. He tried to have Kathy do it. He wanted to have Kathy do this disgusting sex doll thing. It's on his so-called fan page. I will not look at it. And for a long time, he paid to have that the #1 Google search item when you looked up George Senda. That's how evil he was. Same with YouTube. You look up George Senda, you got my videos, and you got about 87 troll videos. All like lampreys feeding off the shark because they can't do original content. Well, you have to sue within 4 or 5 years. And where would I get the money to sue? I'm a poor and poverty-stricken man. James who? But I'm not going to put up with constant negativity on this channel and criticism of what I do. December 10th or 13th, I've been on YouTube 9 years, but I put up with this. Oh, okay, I'm not going to let that name be mentioned. Thank you. He is a major troll and a major enemy of. And I never knew this guy. Part of the problem with all these guys, I don't know they exist. And then suddenly, did you see what Billy Bleep Bleep said about you on the channel, on YouTube? Thank you. Okay, I apologize, Cuddy, but I get very infuriated at these people. Did you see what this guy said about you? And it's lies. I got up today at 6 in the morning. Staggered around, had a cup of coffee, went out and put dry food for the cats, went to the bathroom, went back to sleep. Now, if I don't say that, you don't know what I did in the morning or any other day if it's not on video or if I haven't told you in an email. I never heard of Lesser. I call him Lesser the loser. Because the only content he has, 90% of it is attacking George Senda. Same with all these other clowns, the guy in Reno and other people. And the phony baloney in Erie, Pennsylvania, the so-called true Pennsylvanian with the so-called legion of dummies. These guys all create their channels to go after me for only reason is they dislike me for one reason or another. People I've never heard of that I have no knowledge of before people start telling me, did you see what this guy here said or that guy there said? I don't look at troll videos. No, I don't watch his videos. Why should I give him a view, for one thing, or any publicity? But he's done a number of videos attacking me. So is the clown in Reno. So is the guy in Erie. Actually, he lives in a small town next to Erie. Eats food and spits it out. Then his sister accused me of plagiarizing him at a time when I had never heard of the guy. How can I plagiarize somebody I've never heard of? Then I talk. No, I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to get aggravated. Well, I think PayPal. Oh, hold on. If you're really going to donate to this channel. Whoops. Hello. That was weird. What the hell? Hold on a minute. I'm having technical difficulties here. This Mac is acting up all the time. I don't know why. It's the same Mac as the other one. It does weird stuff. All right. Well, I called the guy up on the phone one day for an hour. I should have recorded it. All right, now there's my PayPal address. And you can donate to friends and family there, and they don't take their 18% cut. And of course, you can send cat gifts, gift cards. Whoop. Eyeglasses for me to see what I'm typing without hitting the return button. Checks, money orders. To help support not only me, but the outdoor kitties that I feed every day. I have to wait on that till I have the area with the other computer. It's easier working the other computer, even though it's hard to sit in that chair. And then I want to get a better sticker company. Then go to the next level. They've got 4 levels. I've done 2. And no, it's not tax deductible. There's also a third thing. I have to dig up the paperwork, and I'm gonna have to create the account. There's a state account where people can donate money to me up to $15,000, and that does not affect my Social Security. I can have that kind of money in an account and draw it and spend it for anything I want. Now I'm going to be printing real stickers. And if people subscribe to the channel, they'll get stickers with my picture on them. I don't pay taxes being on supplemental security income. I would love to pay taxes. I would love to have stocks and bonds and income and gold and silver and a house and all of that. No, they're little round stickers. I haven't thought of bumper stickers yet. Imagine if I put Donald Trump talk in a bumper sticker, your bumper might be torn off. And it's on here. The picture's on here, but I can't use it because it's broken. Well, if someone's paying $6.99 a month, less 30% what Google takes out, so that's $4 a month. You have a strip of stickers. I could probably put it in a plain white envelope and put 10 whatever the stickers are and send them off. It's not going to cost that much to send them off. It would be very hard. I've read articles on that. The problem is you have your capital. You have your $1 million. I don't know what Stitcher is. So, can't see. I have another problem. I can't even see the chat on this thing. I need to get up and get my reading glasses. Yeah, that's the other problem with Priuses. I've tried to put certain things on the Prius. The magnetic things will not stick to the Prius. You have to put it inside your back window. But David, you have $1 million. Let's assume you've already had the taxes paid on that $1 million. If you eat away at the principal, then you're going to run out of money. You have to make money to grow the principal. You can live at $1 million, but it's going to run out fast. I mean, I get around $11,000 or $12,000 a year. I'm not going to live long enough to spend $1 million at that rate. But if you're paying $1,500 rent in Wisconsin, that is 15, 16, 17, 18,000 a year. All right, that would not eat up the million. But let's say you had other expenses. Let's say you bought a condo. You have um, I can't remember what that thing is. Not housing authority, but you got to pay the condo authority, homeowners association, their cut. Then you pay for garbage. You got to pay for sewage if you own a house. You got to pay for water, electricity, cable, internet. You have a car. You got to pay for gasoline. You got to pay a license. You got to pay a registration. You got to pay for your license plate, gas taxes. It's all taxes. Somewhere near that John Stossel book, he lists 300 fees Americans pay, even people like me. Well, I've got to come up with enough money to cover Super Chat's outrageous 30% cut. If you give me $3, I get $2.10. If you give me $6, I get $4.20. Nope, because Patty's not talking to Kathy anymore. There's not going to be a Patty and Kathy channel. Felix, I'm not talking to you anymore, Felix. So there's not going to be a Patty channel because Patty is mad at Kathy because Kathy told her off. And Patty is Kathy's girlfriend, and they've been, hold on. Oh dear. I have to move this. We have a technical problem here. Oh boy. That is not going to work for some reason. No. The iPad is not charging, which is why I have to send it off for repair. I had 2 quarters behind this charging cable, between the charging cable and the piece of 4 megabyte memory. And normally when I put down the quarters or the Allen wrench, it goes point. And you're not going to have Rush because he's got 4th stage terminal cancer, or maybe they're working on it so they can stop it, but you're not going to have Rush Limbaugh running for president. Where the hell is the volume on this thing? Oh. Uh-oh. I can't get back up. Oh. Ow. That's my bad rotator cuff hurting on my shoulder. That's the problem with the iPad right now because it won't charge right. I have to jury rig it, and this should be going doink, and it's not going doink. It's not making the noise. Well, the markets hate uncertainty. And I think if anyone thinks about it, there's still going to be uncertainty. Trump will file, Giuliani said Trump will file in federal court on Monday. This ain't over, folks. No matter what CBS says, NBC, ABC, PBS, Fox, the decision desk at Fox goes to court, it's not over until the last court says it's over. They could decide for Biden. They could in the Supreme Court could decide for Biden. They could decide for Trump. The Catholic media network has not decided for Biden. They're all for Trump. And there goes my Mac again. And by the way, this is another reason I asked for donations. That's a 2000 Mac that's screwing up. That one needs a new hard drive. The 2010, the screen's cracked. Fluffy killed the hard drive. She pulled the power strip out. This iPad screwed up. I need newer equipment. No, it's a last court case because there are multiple irregularities in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and possibly Georgia. Bye, Cuddy. Have a great day. So that's the thing there. Give you an idea. If, let's say I save up for a GoPro at $40 a month. That's 10 months. No, you can't. You don't understand how Macs and iPads are made. You have to take a magnet, suction cups, pull the glass off the iMac. You have to disconnect all the connectors. You have to take the glass out. You have to take certain things out to replace the hard drive. I know how to do it. I can't see what I'm doing. I can't see little tiny connectors anymore. The iPad, you have to take a heat gun. There's glue on the inside of underneath the glass, and the other thing, which name escapes me right now. You have to pull that out, disconnect the connectors to open it up, and then remove the charging port or whatever. And I believe the memory on the iPad is soldered in. So you can't replace that. What you buy is you're stuck with. All the blue states need to be recounted. Anything, remember, there's one state where they were saying it was less than 1%. I think that was Georgia. They're going to have a recount, automatic recount. But in the states where there's voter fraud suspected, every vote should be examined physically. I'm not talking about counting. They can recount till the cows come in. You got to make sure that those ballots are legitimate ballots, not one somebody stamped. There's another case now at a different post office where a postal worker says we were ordered to hand stamp these ballots November 3rd, put them in a bin, they were sent off in the express bin. It's the contested states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, and particularly Pennsylvania and Nevada. They've forgotten totally. They were talking about Nevada will be the key state for a Biden win. Suddenly Nevada's ignored. They're talking about Pennsylvania because they got away with crooked stuff in Pennsylvania, or they're trying to get away with crooked stuff. You're wrong, because this is a federal election. And the federal judicial authorities have the right and the obligation, if there are irregularities in the voting process, to examine that process. They have every right to do that under the Constitution. And judges are not supposed to be subject to whether someone's a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, a conservative. Unfortunately, as we've seen with Justice Roberts, consistently votes the liberals. He was appointed as conservative. And then we had someone like Sotomayor. I think that was Ginsburg. Ginsburg? Or Sotomayor? No, I think it was Ginsburg. one who just died. I got trouble taking care of keeping up with all these names too. I just pay attention to Clarence Thomas and Alito, but she voted consistently liberal, and some say she refused to die, and she didn't want to give Trump another nominee. Now Trump has appointed 3 conservatives and 300 circuit court judges. So they tried. I'm sure there was fraud in some of those elections too, because if you have a federal ballot, oh my God, for president, and you have senatorial ballots, they're committing fraud. And one of those ballots are all connected. All those votes are on the same ballot. Look at John James. When I went to bed Tuesday night, John James was way ahead. Suddenly he's not the senator from Michigan. I went, huh? How did he lose? If they're putting in phony ballots, that's how you lose. Now, you don't understand, Joe. Judges have the authority, if the election results are taken to court, to act, then the people say, I want redress. There's stuff going on that shouldn't be going on in the counting process. Good Lord. My voice is gone. I don't think there was fraud in the House by the Dems losing seats. They spent $200 million to try to defeat Lindsey Graham, and they failed. They spent huge amount of money to defeat Joni Ernst in Iowa. They failed. You know, part of the reason they failed, one of their own senators or congresswoman said, we have to stop saying socialists. We have to stop saying supporting all this radicalism, looting. People are getting fed up with it. And the other thing, people are really fed up with Nancy Pelosi consistently blocking the stimulus package. I'm fed up with Mitch McConnell for months, said we don't need a stimulus. It would add too much to the federal debt. He's finally realized we need the stimulus to help the economy. You're being an idiot. Fraudulently appointed. How can you be fraudulently appointed to a federal judgeship? I'm not going to allow that comment, nor that one. The President of the United States was elected in a fair election. There was no collusion. In the last election against Hillary Clinton, there were, as far as I know, no illegal ballots that never came up. This election, it's come up. They were voted in by the Senate, and the Democrats voted against her. So, by that inference, the Democrats committed fraud by voting against her. You're being ridiculous. And there was no fraud by the How can you have fraud by the Dems losing seats? They spent millions of dollars to try to overturn Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and other Republicans. And instead of losing, the Republicans gained seats in the Senate, they gained seats in the House. Remember, it's not up to the Democratic leadership to determine who votes. It's up to the voter. I have to go because my voice is gone. This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your donations. Have a great day. Stay wet, warm, dry, or cool. Stay safe. Stay warm and dry. And I will catch you next time. My voice is gone. Bye-bye.